What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. I think this is the first weekend stream we're doing for DFF as we head into the season. So drop a like, subscribe if you guys have not already. But to those of you who have already been a part of the channel for quite a while, like David Elliott. What's up, David? Got to make a spot for Nicholas Wilson to get in one of these mocks. Yeah, Nick, you gotta be quick, man. These mocks they fill up really quickly, and Avery and I usually take up 2 spots. Now it's just me today, so I'm just taking up one spot today. But again, welcome in. We got some big news today. Actually, a number of really important news pieces. I'm especially curious to see where Joe Mixon lands. Would love to hear your guys' take on Joe Mixon and the foot injury, which I think was a non-football foot injury. I think it was a non-football injury list. I think he started on the NFL list to start training camp, and apparently it's lingering. It's not getting any better, and now his start of the season is actually in jeopardy. So that will actually be really, really interesting to monitor, not only for him but also for his backups, Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, who both look a little bit intriguing heading into this season. So Nick, congrats on being first, bro. What's up, Bofa, Kalani? We got Blake Sibley in here. Jordan, CM. Appreciate all you guys joining here. Good afternoon on a Saturday. Last weekend without football for 2025. Let's freaking go, dude. I am totally with you there. I think, again, it's going to feel, I guess it is the last weekend without football, but we still have multiple weekends before real football because college football, when's week 0 start? When is week 0 for college football? You guys will have to let me know. I always forget. Week 0, I honestly don't follow much in week 0. Week 1 is really when I start watching college football. But we at least have the Hall of Fame game next week, right? And you can only handle about 2 series of the Hall of Fame game, and then you realize it's just awful. I know this is the wrong channel, but traded Allen for Penix Hampton 26 early first and 27 first in my Dynasty League this morning. Yeah, it's a pretty solid trade, Blake. Yeah, what's up, mother flockers? Welcome in. Mason said he'd show you all my video tomorrow, so just saying, if you want a domain earn the league, help a brother out. All right, Alec, excited to see your league or your submission tomorrow for the Flock League. We're doing a little bit of a recording tomorrow. It's a pick who's going to be the guest for the Flock League next year. One of you guys. So I will say I've seen a number of videos that you guys have submitted. Yeah, again, what's up, Bofa? Appreciate you joining. Nick says, how was your trip? The Bahamas, right? I actually went to Hawaii a month and a half ago, and it was great. Avery was on a trip a few weeks ago, and he also went to Hawaii. My Bahamas trip was in January, so I went to Bahamas and then Hawaii. But yeah, we did both have trips this summer, and they were very nice. Is Woody Marks a good pickup? In fantasy, I think that he's definitely. I mean. You probably want to take a little bit of a dart throw on him in the 11th or 12th round. Probably the 12th or 13th round, I think, is when I'd be okay taking Woody Marks. Because we don't really know how long Mixon is going to be out, how extensive this foot injury really is, and Woody Marks could be nothing. So I don't think I'm going to go crazy on Marks, but we got to see what happens here and definitely monitor it. Week 0 for college is August 23rd. We are not that far off. We're a month away. 4 weeks from now. What's up, brother? Hey, Perk Almighty, and appreciate you joining, man. So let's get this sleeper draft started. I'm going to share the link in the Discord. And then once the people from the Discord get joined, then I will drop it in the chat here as well. But let's see how quickly this fills up. I am going to take the 4 spot this time. I've got a couple of theories that I have for picks this year. Helly literally just to snipe me decided he was at pick 12. He was at pick 12. Right over here. And then he decides to move right by me just to intentionally snipe me when I decided to pick the 4 spot. So that is hilarious. Again, guys, if you were just joining and have not liked the video, go ahead and do that. If you want to subscribe, it's a free, super easy way. Helps out the channel quite a lot, more than you would honestly think. So if you have not subscribed to the channel already, appreciate you joining and watching the live stream, and do us a solid and subscribe. But let's drop this in the chat now. Actually, we're filled up and we're a go. Holy cow. Okay. Let's do this. 30-second clock. Did I not just hit start draft? I literally hit start. Yes. Turn that off. Golly, that was terrible. Okay, so we got Chase going off one. What do you think coming off a startup Dynasty draft? I gotta freaking shrink this, dude. I mean, not like you guys really are dying to see my face or anything, but that just looks bad. What do you think coming off a startup Dynasty draft, sending away JSN and Ayuk for Odunze and Hampton? I think Odunze and Hampton there is fine. I think I'd take that deal. I've got 12 seconds left. I've got a pick here. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna do some stuff here. I'm gonna take Gibbs. I'm gonna play around with some theory here. There goes J. Jeff. So Asamoah's not worried about the J. Jeff injury. I don't think we should be until we get more news. So I think that was a good pick. CM says, I wonder how much it's worth sandbagging in the pick selection for the flock league to control your draft spot / strategy. It's not, honestly, and a lot of stuff that happens in the flock league is pretty unpredictable. Like, we expect after doing multiple drafts, this happened last year too, draft after draft after draft, like real money drafts on our channel, they just did not in any way reflect what was going to happen in the flock league. So it is complete and utter anarchy. I mean, we're playing, we got Thomas, our video editor, we've got a dev, at least one dev. And then, multiple content creators who have all different types of opinions left and right. And then now we're going to have, a guest on the show as well, one of you guys. So that foot injury is going to linger for Mixon all year. I bet Woody, PPR Machine, and Chubb will get big bruiser carries. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely lean committee backfield. I don't think they're going to have a bell cow in that offense if Mixon isn't healthy. I would like to know a little more about the details of Mixon's foot injury. What is it exactly? Is it like a plantar fasciitis thing? Is it like a stress fracture? What sort of thing is it that's really lingering here? The community thought I won the trade. Want to know your thoughts too. Yeah, Inquando, you're talking about your trade earlier, which I think I already broke down. Sometimes this won't let me like scroll back up the comments, which is so annoying. I think the deal you made to get on Odunze and Hampton was fine. 2 mocks today. Yes, we will be doing 2 mocks today. Perkle Mighty. Metcalf or Sutton. I would lean Metcalf personally. I know there's been a lot of negative news coming out of training camp with DK at the moment. I think that'll kind of settle over time as he and Rodgers kind of work on building that chemistry over training camp in the preseason. How much of a say do you have for picking who's in the flock league? I mean, you'll see in the video that we come out with here and determine who's going to be in the flock league. I mean, we're Avery and I are 2 of the creators in the flock league, so we have 2 votes. Chase Brown or Bucky Irving. I would lean Bucky personally. I like Bucky a good bit this year in fantasy. Who's leaving the flock league from last year? No one's leaving the flock league. We're just consolidating the devs. We had a number of devs that had spots in the flock league, and now they're just getting their own team. So, okay, so I've got Gibbs here. I took him at the 1-4, and I wanted to see what this ended up looking like. Okay. We're actually going to take... Wow. We're gonna take Bowers at the 2-9. He fell pretty far. That's a pretty good price for him. For the tight end 1 in Dynasty, I mean, that's not... 150 targets last year. I'll take that, no problem. Yep, CM's spot on there. Hey, I just got here. What's up, Gator fan? How much work do you think Nick Chubb and Dameon Pierce will get? I think Nick Chubb and Woody Marks will be getting a lot of usage. I think Dameon Pierce would be the 3rd of that committee backfield, but again, he could even get some touches if they're gonna really, do a committee system. I mean, Nick Chubb is kind of a shell of what he used to be, so I think it's anyone's game. Holy cow! Cooper Kupp goes at the 3-1. That is crazy. Dang. That's pretty rich. All right, it's my pick again. Best position to draft from? Good question. That's a loaded question. I'm going to break that down after I make my pick here. I have not taken a wide receiver yet. We got Tyreek on the board. We got Marv on the board. Got some good running backs left on the board. JT and Kyron have both fallen to the third. Y'all are making me do it. I'm going to take a running back. Crap. Oh, cool. I've taken JT. Cool. I got it just in time. So here's my thing. There are a number of teardrops that are worth addressing in fantasy this season, and I think depending on where you pick, you can kind of avoid you can avoid those teardrops depending on where you're picking. And I honestly think that if you want to stay within the tier of your top elite guys, you probably want to be in like the 1 to 6 range. If you want to avoid this drop off of wide receivers, then you probably want to be like 3 to 5. I chose 4 because my theory is 4. But I just went with 2 running backs, a tight end, and no wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, which is ballsy, and I want to see what my team ends up looking like. Because obviously, receivers are there's a big fall off in this range as well. So I'm kind of playing with fire. And Tyreek Hill falling to the 310, I think, is pretty good price there. Go suffice it, I emailed my submission and tagged Mason on Twitter with it. Is there any way to know if he sees it? We're looking through everything, man. If you met the deadline of July 25th, then we will have looked through it, and then we will announce who the final 10 are that we'll be looking at on the video. So the third round is a bit early for Cup. Yeah, it's that's about 6. That's about 5 rounds too early for Cooper Kupp. If my redraft league is on ESPN, do you recommend going off you and Avery's rankings? I mean, we're always going to recommend going off our rankings because there are rankings. But no, I think everyone's rankings on the site are, I mean, you can toggle by consensus rankings, consensus expert rankings if you want to average out, Avery and mine versus everyone else's. ESPN, again, we will have something that helps you kind of show who we think our favorite values are for ESPN leagues. So stay tuned on that, Nquando, for when you're drafting. We've got the tool literally just for you. So stay tuned in the Discord. 78 views and we don't have 78 likes yet. We slacking. Yeah, man. Drop a like if you haven't yet. And appreciate you joining if you're hanging out right now and doing these mocks with us, or even just watching them if you're not in them. So big running back run here. Omari and Hampton going at the 3-3. That's where he should go. I took JT. There goes Kyron, Brees, Cook. I think JT and Kyron generally going. JT going usually in the second. Kyron going early third. So I think those are both good values. McBride at the 3-9 is a good price. James Cook, that's pretty early. Tyreek Hill is nice, and you got Kamar at the 3-11. Marv is almost consistently 95% of the time he's going 3-4 turn here, predictably. And then everything else here is pretty standard for the most part. And I am up here in a second. I can't talk about, what I'm thinking strategically here because down the line, because there's no delay. So you guys just know. I will take Rashee Rice though as my first wide receiver off the board. Curious to see how far Mixon falls here in these drafts. There goes Joe Burrow. Favorite start so far? Drop it in the chat. What you guys think? We've got a number of teams that went 2 running backs in the first 4 rounds at least. Yeah, everybody. No one has 3 running backs. Some people that took running backs also took a QB, risking it. At wide receiver, which I am doing that as well in this draft. What are your thoughts on Judkins from Cameron? What's up, Cameron? Appreciate you joining. My thoughts on Judkins are wait and see. I don't think his suspension is going to be nearly as extreme as people suspect, if there's a suspension at all. that is to be determined. I mean, they have to get all that legal stuff figured out before the NFL is really going to jump in and suspend him. And I don't think that, I honestly think that means the suspension could be pushed back to next year. So I think he could be playing week 1 and play throughout the season. Yeah, Denick thinks he's a buy low. I agree. There goes DJ Moore and DK. They're on the turn with Jalen Hurts as well. Last rushing QB. Big time rushing QB. Cup of the 2-3 turn is certainly a choice. Yeah, it definitely is. Draft in fourth round as well. There seems to be no good wide receivers after Gibbs. Wide receiver ones after Gibbs. I don't know. I mean, you mean running back ones, possibly? Okay, so Sutton and Tet go in the 5th round here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm looking for another wide receiver here. And they are not pretty. They are not pretty at all. Holy crap. Oh. I'll take Devontae. I do not like that. I do not like that pick at all. Do not like it. Fall off happened fast at wide receiver. Bowers pick freaked me up. I'd be in pretty decent shape, and I wouldn't have even been forced to have taken a wide receiver there if I had passed up on Bowers and taken like JSN instead at the 2-9. And there goes Pickens at the 5-5. And Quando staying tuned. Just found out I have the second pick in a 14-team league, 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. What type of strategy would you suggest? Oh gosh, Gator fan. I would have to know a little more details. Is this PPR, half PPR, full PPR? I mean, depth is going to be really tough to come by in a fantasy redraft league like that. 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. Are there no QBs? No tight ends? Or are there 1 of each for that? You have to let me know. Justin says, what's up? What's up, man? Thoughts on Njoku this year? I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be a mid tight end 1. Probably like anywhere from tight end 6 to tight end 9. That's pretty nice. But I don't think he's going to blow the socks off us in fantasy this season. Like, he really, like everybody else in that offense, kind of was heavily impacted by the Jameis effect. And there is no Jameis in that offense this year in terms of passing volume. Flacco would probably get the closest to that. And I don't think Flacco is, I think Njoku will produce and he'll be fine, but I don't think he's going to be like elite caliber, elite. Trying out my wide receiver factory strategy. Thoughts on my draft so far? I'm Mike Hawk. Yeah, man. So you go Neighbors, AJ Brown, and Mike Evans. And then your 1 running back is Cook and Laporta. I think when you get through the first few rounds of your draft, when you get 2 wide receivers up top, you feel really good about it, and then you feel less good about it the further down you get in the draft because of how dramatic the running back fall off is. So we'll see who you end up getting at running back, Mike, but especially taking Laporta there at the 5-8 makes it tougher because you're going to be hurting at running back potentially. I mean, if we're looking at ADP right now, you've got Mixon who keeps falling. You have Monty, Judkins, Aaron Jones, Pacheco, Swift, Caleb Johnson. So pretty much you like running back would be a pick here, but then after that, a lot of those guys are going to be gone. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But again, I don't mind it. I think Neighbors and AJ Brown are good picks in and of themselves. I think Pacheco is that's a little high and where I would be taking him. I'd probably take him in the 7th, not the 6th, but you do you with him. I just am more on the side of, hey, I think that they're probably going to give opportunities to every other running back in that offense, but I could be wrong there. Pacheco is solid when he's healthy. Good Old Boys got the best team, Blake says. Let's check out Good Old Boys. Amon-Ra, Ladd, Odunze, and then he has Brees and Henderson. Yeah, to go 2 wide receivers up top and then end up with Brees and Henderson is pretty solid. I did drafts that were pretty similar to that. Over the last couple of streams. 111 should be pretty good. Thoughts on my draft of the 111 trying to get 2 running backs before the teardrop? Yeah, London, Marv, Flowers with Achane and Kamara, and then you got Mahomes in the 5th as well. Like, I think that was too high of a pick for Mahomes, but you still ended up fine because you had those 2 running backs before the teardrop off, and wide receivers pretty solid. All right, what do I want to do here? Man, you guys are forcing me to... Oh, golly. I mean, I got to take Quinchon, right? Maybe I'll take Caleb Johnson instead. I'll shake it up. I'll take Caleb Johnson. I view him and Quinshawn in the same tier, but in the 6th round, yes, please. That wide receiver run was crazy. Some of these running backs fell further than I usually expect. There goes Mixon there at the 6-7. So bound to fall. It's bound to go at some point. We'll do at least one more mock, maybe 2 more to really solidify where Mixon is falling with this news. Tiny Goose at the 102. Yeah, he goes wide receiver 3 straight rounds after taking Bijan and Bucky Irving, which apparently it's Bijan, which, I've heard people say that before too, so whatever. And then he takes Judkins there at the 6-11. Bijan, Bucky, and Judkins, and he takes JSN, DJ Moore, and Ted McMillan. I mean, that's a great start. It's because you didn't spend one of your early picks on a tight end or a quarterback. Hint, 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 hint. That's going to be by far and away probably our favorite strategy this year. I just don't like my draft as much because I took Bowers, and if I didn't take Bowers, my wide receiver room would be set, and I would be loaded and elite at running back. I'd have the best draft in this mock. McMillan at the 5-2 is good value. Yeah, I think you're going to see Tet probably settle in the 5th round, and I think that's where he belongs. Hey, Dumple TV. Appreciate you joining in, man. Q is getting murdered. I know how you feel. Nathan and Avery said he might be a round 1 pick in startups next year. About Tet. Yeah, no, he definitely could in Dynasty. And there goes Addison. I get sniped. Yeah, I mean, you knew that I was trying to go for wide receiver there and took the last guy that I honestly was really interested in. I will say, though, in the 7th round, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley, love both of them. Give me Godwin. I will say for going a tight end up top and taking running back, no wide receiver until the 4th round, Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, and Chris Godwin is not half bad. Here comes a Stephon Diggs reach from Nathan next pick. Incorrect. Thoughts on Hampton early 3rd. I think it's where he deserves to go. I do think people in our circles are starting to draft him a little higher than maybe where people think he should be going consensus across the industry, but who knows? He could end up rising up into the early 3rd, and I think, honestly, it's worth taking him there. Love David's dude knows how to make and commish leagues. Heck yeah, man. David's a man. David's an OG fan. He was like the 13th blueprint that we did. 13th Dynasty blueprint that we did. Like ever. So he's been here since the origins. Start 1 tight end, 1 quarterback, and full PPR. Okay, I got you. Yeah, man. I would definitely shoot for upside there. Don't worry too much about your depth because that still is a pretty shallow league format. So I would shoot for the upside, guys. I'm at the 1 pick. I accidentally double-clicked on Garrett Wilson, which somehow included Kupp. I'm glad it's a mock. So that's why Kupp went that high. That makes sense. Okay, there you go. So you probably would have gone JSN or a running back there, I would assume. Try another mock with the 4th pick using a different strategy. Yeah, we'll see. I might do that. We'll see. What are you doing with Giants running backs? I've drafted some. Tracy, but starting to walk back my take. I would go Scatterboo personally. I think that they'll probably start the season with a 50-50 split, and then I think Scatterboo will probably run away with that job, pun intended. You're definitely right. The fall off at running back is insane. Good time to try out these strategies before the real drafts. Appreciate your insight, though. Thanks, Bofa. The running back drop off pretty much after. It does suck that we're losing Mixon, though, potentially. But maybe not, because then maybe you get him at a really solid value in the 6th round. It actually makes the 6th round look a little more attractive at running back. But after this run of Swift and Jones and Pacheco, you're looking at Pollard, and everything else after Pollard is disgusting. It's Tracy, it's B-Rob, it's Scat, it's your running back trio in Jacksonville, it's Javonte, it's Blue. It is awful. It is so, so bad. Omarion signed my jersey and took a pick with me a few days ago, so I'm going to start picking him in the 2nd if I have to. Alec, that is a perfect reason to do so. How's the draft order being made in the Flock League? You'll see. Denick Bailey, that's very kind. Oh, yeah. David, you're the man. Do you think J-Mo's production will take another leap this year, and do you think it's too risky to draft both him and Amon-Ra? I think it's risky to draft J-Mo and Laporta more than I think it's risky to draft J-Mo and Amon-Ra. I don't think J-Mo and Amon-Ra are mutually exclusive because I think Amon-Ra is going to get his own. I think, honestly, it's just equally as risky selecting J-Mo as it is selecting Sam Laporta in terms of what their production upside is going to look like this year. What do you think of my squad so far? I'm at the 1-5. So at the 1-5, we got J Jeff. So J Jeff, you and A-Helly are sandwiching me. J Jeff, and then you wait for wide receiver for a while. You end up with Pickens in the 5th, Olave and Diggs. That's still a good wide receiver room. Chase Brown and Chuba, 3-5. You got a lot of risk. You have a lot of risk at you got a lot of risk in your room. I think Lamar obviously is great. Chase Brown and Chuba. Chase Brown is pretty solid. Chuba a little more risky, so. And then wide receiver after J Jeff is Pickens, Olave, and Diggs, which I think all have pretty inherent risk, which each one of those guys. But overall, I think value-wise, I think you've done fine. I do think Chase Brown was a bit of a reach, though, in the 2nd. There goes Warren in the 7th. I freaking love Tyler Warren, dude. I'm all in on Tyler Warren this year. Any Jags running backs you prefer? Yeah, I'd take Tootin. I like the fresh legs. It's not just because I have rookie fever, like genuinely. I just have no interest in running backs that have shown what they are capable of and what they're not capable of. And Bigsby and ETN are not good. So I think if anyone is going to get a chance at getting a lot of opportunity there, it would be Tootin down the line. And I don't think that means that Tootin is going to be amazing. But if you want to take an upside shot, like I would take the upside shot on the fresh legs. All right, who I got here? In the 8th. I guess I'll take Debo. May as well, yeah. Yeah, there goes Ibuka at the 8-10. It's tough with Ibuka, man. I don't know what his volume is going to look like right out the gate. So I'm kind of afraid to draft him as a bona fide starting asset. Because, again, if you take him in the 8th round, that's the last spot. That's your last flex spot. So you have to start him. And if he doesn't do jack for the first 4 weeks of the season, then you're like, well, crap. So I don't know. I'm almost more of like a, hey, buy Ibuka in season before he potentially goes off. But then again, I could be wrong and he could just go off all of a sudden, right out the gate immediately. So I think a lot of it is dependent on the status of Godwin heading into week 1. That really will be the big decider. Sold Javonte for an early 2nd today in Dynasty. Nice. What do you think of my team at the 112? Kalani says. CMC, Connor, B-Rob. Very, very, very risky at running back and very low floor beyond Connor. Or very, very low ceiling beyond Connor. Low floor with Connor as well. BCJ, Terry, Waddle, Downs, and then you would go Daniels at the 312. Again, nothing against you, Kalani, and what your draft strategy was there. I'm just saying, taking a rushing QB, I got to pick here. Taking a rushing QB in the top 3 rounds really, really hurts you down the line because you're just not as safe at running back or wide receiver. You're talking to a guy who just took Bowers in the 2nd round, and I knew what I was sacrificing there. Okay, I'll take Purdy in the 9th, sure. I do think at price, CMC and BTJ were good picks, but then taking Daniels really hurts you down the line. I probably would have taken Marv over Terry at the 4-1 as well. That would have made me feel better about your wide receiver room. But I still think your wide receiver room is fine. BTJ, Terry, Waddle, and Downs, that's fine. All right, the real question we all want to know, when the earliest I can either buy or get one of those sexy hats. I do not know. But I know I think we're giving those away at the meetup in Austin. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the plan. Thoughts on a Jamar T. Burrow stack? Landed it today. I think stacks are a little bit overrated and they're pretty high risk, honestly. In fantasy, I would not overpay, and I would not reach on players in your fantasy draft to get stacks, honestly. They can cap your ceiling if you have both those wide receivers plus Burrow. If you're doing Waddle and Tyreek and Tua or something like that, they can cap your ceiling. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing a stack that's like Chase, Burrow, and Chase Brown, then I'm fine with that because they're not mutually exclusive assets necessarily. But if you're going both wide receivers in that offense, plus the QB, like it's just the bad weeks mean that everyone does bad, and the good weeks mean that they do really well, but it's just they're so dependent on each other that you're really going to be screwed a week in the playoffs if they don't have a good week, and you're out of the playoffs. So too risky in my opinion. Really want to win my league. It's a calm 10-man, and most of the people's ball knowledge is from YouTube and TikTok. Best of luck to you, Vanch. What's the best strategy? Vanch, I could tell you the best strategy in general for a 10-man, but I'm just going to tell you right now, we have literally like 4 videos coming out a week on DFF. The best strategy advice that you're going to get is from what we talk about in those videos consistently, and the platform specific one. It depends on what platform you're in. It honestly depends on what platform you're in. And we've got something coming out on the site for you guys that Avery and I and our team have been working really, really hard on over the last month. That's going to help you depending on what platform you're playing on in a 10-team league. So Walker or Chuba? Give me Chuba. Chuba, I would assume, is going to stay healthy. He hasn't shown that he can't stay healthy. Walker can't stay on the field. Nice trade. Yeah, Waffle. Yep. I'd take Tootin in Dynasty, but he's a year or more away from being a contributor in redraft. Unless he's not. I mean, you've seen plenty of day 3 rookie running backs come in. And you just saw this with Tracy last year in a wide open room, right? With Singletary. And everyone was like, oh, Singletary's the guy. I mean, Singletary, you know exactly what Singletary is. And the excitement and the juice was with Tyron Tracy. I think that could be the case with Tootin this year. Again, it's no guarantee, but I don't think that he's guaranteed to be a complete non-factor year 1. Like, he could be a factor. Josh Downs and Warren still worth it if AR starts. Yeah, Warren probably more than Downs. Here's the thing though, Trophy. If AR starts, he will not start very long because he will either suck or he'll get hurt, or he'll do both at the same time. I would bet both at the same time. Danik says, I don't know how people play 10-team leagues. I feel like they're shallow. 12 seems like the perfect number. Shoot, I'm even in a few 14-team redraft leagues. Yeah, I will say 10-team is pretty common in redraft. It's very popular, but I agree with you. I prefer 12-team. Sure, I'll take Mason. Jordan Mason in the 10th. All right, guys, that was a good mock. Let's do another one. I'm going to jump over this screen while I'm building out the next one for you guys. Let me know what your guys' favorite team was in there, favorite pick, who you think the best value was, the biggest faller, obviously, aside from Mixon. Alex says, what are your opinions on Dallas running backs? So, pretty similar, honestly, to the Jacksonville backfield. I would bet that they're probably going to start with a committee and then see if anyone emerges. I would put my money on Jaden Blue being the guy because he is the fresh legs. He's the new young guy. I don't think that Javonte Williams has shown ever post-injury that he really just has the juice to be a long-term option, like even throughout an entire season. And then you also have, who else is there? Miles Sanders. I'm not even going to talk about Miles Sanders. He's so irrelevant and so garbage and terrible. It really is honestly between Javonte Williams and Blue. If they split a backfield, I wouldn't be shocked. I think Blue could come in there, and if he shows enough, then maybe he'll get the bell cow workload. But at the end of the day, probably going to be a 50-50 split. We're looking at here, PPR update. This is a redraft mock 726 number 2 DFF mock. Update. Roster settings. 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, and 2 bench. That's an update right there. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess 10 rounds, and we are good to go, folks. I'm going to drop this in the announcements on the Discord, and then we will get going here. Hop in here again, folks. In the Discord, if you are not already there, I highly recommend. Link is in the description of all of our videos. We're going to have plenty of time to talk Dynasty there. Oh, give me spot 8 since I didn't get 4. That sucks. Oh well. 8 is fine. I don't think I've drafted from 8. We got 1 spot left, and it is full. It is full. It is full. So here we go. Boom. We are a go. Drop a like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. We'll do at least this one, and then we may do another one as well after this. Hey, Perk got in. Got into the number 2 slot. Gator fan did. Congrats. Brian said, dang, no YouTube link. What do you mean, Brian? No YouTube link? As in, like, for the sleeper? We do drop it in the Discord first, and then once it doesn't fill, or if it doesn't fill, then we drop it in the YouTube link. But highly encourage you, if you haven't, Brian, to just join the Discord. We do these mocks all the time. It's a great community over there. We've got tons of stuff over there in terms of content and help. And at the 12, congrats, Blake. David Elliott said, how's the ISO concert last Saturday, the music of John Williams? It was great. They did a ton of different composers. It was about 40 to 50% John Williams. And then they did a Hans Zimmer. They did Giacchino, I think is his last name. They did James Horner as well. All right, let's take Puka here at the 1-8. Yeah, they did James Horner. Oh, gosh. They did a guy from the 80s. He did a lot of really good films. Shoot. Crap. I forget his name. His first name started with a D and his last name started with an F. Try to figure out that puzzle. There goes Neighbors right after me. Again, you got this run of wide receivers, and then on the turn here, you got Henry, Nico, HM, BTJ, Genty, London. Pretty much everything here is pretty standard so far. And there is a significant running back fall off after CMC. Significant. I will go ahead and take Bucky, though. And then we'll see what ends up happening here. Next, I'm kicking myself for taking Shakir instead of Jennings. Yeah, I prefer Jennings, but honestly, it's like once you get to that range, it's kind of a crapshoot anyways. It's tough. No cap, I thought Robert won the fight, but I bet on RDR. Was there a fight last night? I have Daniels McLaurin stack. Yeah, that makes sense, Kalani. Thoughts on DJ Moore this season? Definite yes over Sutton and Metcalf. I don't think he's a definite yes, but if you want to take him or prefer him over those guys, I don't blame you at all. I think I have DJ Moore behind DK in my rankings and ahead of Sutton. Oh, good old boys autoed. Took Amon-Ra and Ladd again. What do you think about the 110? That was probably in the last draft. We moved on. I'm going to get up to these up-to-date comments. Yeah, Tiny Goose said link on the Discord. Didn't see Bijan drop at the 1-4. Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, Bijan at the 1-4 is fine. CD and Bucky are Genty and London and redraft. Give me... probably Genty and London, I think. that honestly ends up just depending on like where you prefer to draft. That's pretty even. It really is. Where is the Discord link? Trophy says. Trophy, let me get the Discord link for you. I'll drop it in the chat so you guys can see. Discord. Where is the Discord link? Hey Trophy, here's the best way to get into the Discord. If you go to flockfantasy.com/domain, you can literally just start, like you can set up a free account there. You can literally just set up a username, and then on your account page, it says sync Discord, and all of the information is there, and then you just get on the Discord through there. So that's the best way that I would recommend it for you too, because also if you just go on the site, there's plenty of free tools on there as well. So if you aren't already a Domain Mother Flocker, I'd highly encourage you if you want to. But if not, again, you can just get on the Discord that way. Super easy. And we have non-locked Discord channels that are they're public channels, so very active. I mean, I'm taking Kamara. No shame. Happy taking Kamara there. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, go over to flockfantasy.com/domain. We are going to be launching a season pass there pretty soon, probably next week, where if you don't want to do the annual Mother Flocker tier on DFF, we have a season pass, and it's going to have all of the redraft content that you could literally ever dream of. So more to come there. Omarion gets lots of love, as he should, man. He's in one of the best running offenses in terms of volume that you could ever dream of for a running back. Just got the 8th pick in my home league. I have no clue who to pick between Neighbors and Puka. Flip a coin. Literally. Like, they're both incredible. If you want a better offense, take Puka. If you want less competition, I guess, because Devontae Adams is in that offense, then you can take Neighbors. But Puka, check this out, guys. Show player card. Look at this. Look at this run. First of all, why is it showing half PPR? It should be showing full PPR. He had 3 touchdowns on this run, and he had like 1,000 receiving yards in like half the season. Puka is insane. Just saying. Did you see that Bijan said that everyone's been pronouncing his name wrong and it's actually Bijan? Yes, I actually literally just saw that before I did the stream today. Answering just redraft or also Dynasty questions tonight. Ask away, it's A-Rod. I can't promise that I can get through all of the comments. I'm kind of jumping around because there's a lot of comments, but I'll probably prioritize the redraft questions, but you can feel free to drop in your Dynasty questions. Nathan, don't trade away JJ in the Flock League this year, please. I think he's good. Thanks, Brian. I will say, for the amount of crap that I've gotten for that move, the structure of the deal was laid out so that it was essentially Kyron and Pittman for J-Jeff. And Kyron and Pittman Kyron and J-Jeff in terms of points per game were like a point per game apart at the end of the season, which was the really, 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 really stupid bad part of the deal was moving Goddard for Bowers. That was awful. That was so bad. And that's what I can't sleep at night because of that deal. I'll take Rashid. Now, what I will say is, regardless, It's just funny that like Justin Jefferson is the poster child for that trade. And it's almost like people forget that I traded away Bowers. That was the bad part of the deal. That was the abysmal part of the deal. Like, it was so bad. For as much crap as I get for that deal, I'm surprised that I don't get crap for Bowers. Like, it's like no one even mentions that I traded away Brock Bowers. And you realize if I didn't trade away Brock Bowers, I would have made the playoffs and had a really good shot at winning the league. Like, that's what killed me. I actually honestly was like, I ended up not in that bad of a situation for getting Kyron because I had the best running back room in the league. And I was short at wide receiver, but Judy was a wide receiver 1 on the year, and I had him and was plugging him in, and he was doing fine. So it really ended up being moving off of Bowers is what screwed me. But yep, Danny Elfman. That's it, David Elliott. Yep. That's right. They did a number of Danny Elfman songs or compositions. But yeah, all that to say, Brian, with the Justin Jefferson deal, you guys are free to annihilate me and trash me and destroy me for that trade. I literally cannot come back and say anything or make any excuses until I actually win. So I will put my head down and do the work to make sure that never happens again. That's honestly is like the only, that's the only draft. That's the only league that I care about. I'm doing a lot of work to, and I did last year too. Like, I had a pretty good strategy heading into that draft, and it worked out really well. Like, the draft, I had a really, really good draft. I literally just self-imploded in the middle of the season. Self-imploded. And even after the Jefferson deal, I still had a chance at making the playoffs. If I had started Jerry Jeudy against Mason, I would have made the playoffs. If I had dropped $5 on Ray Davis, I would have made the playoffs. And what was the other move? There was another move that I made in the middle of the season that was really bad. That cost me a game. And if I had done the other thing, then I would have made the playoffs. But happened to a lot of people in the league too. You just got to be consistent. You cannot self-implode. A lot of people self-imploded in that league. And that's honestly what ended up deciding who did well and who didn't. I mean, Zach kind of got unlucky in the in the playoffs because his team kind of sputtered out, and then he scored like 280 points in the third place game. But I'm exaggerating. He didn't score 280 points. He scored like 200 points in the third place game. But outside of Zach, like, everyone else was legit. Avery finished 7-7, and I finished 6-8. After all that was said and done, we finished one game apart, which was insane. So there was a ridiculous amount of parity in that league, and if it's anywhere close to that again this season, it's going to be insane. Oh my gosh. Holy run of running backs. Whew. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, in the fifth, I'll take DK in the fifth. Puka, Rice, and DK, and then I have Bucky and Kamara. That's pretty cool. I'm good with that. What are your thoughts on tight ends? I cannot stomach taking Bowers or McBride or Kittle because of what you sacrifice with the skill positions with running back and wide receiver. I guess technically tight end's a skill position too, but running back and wide receiver specifically. There's too much productive enough value in the later rounds at tight end with some even upside there as well that I can't take the guys up top even though their upside is higher. Kelsey in the 7th and Warren in the 9th. Ingram's a good pick if you totally fade tight end, and Njoku's a good pick if you totally fade tight end, and Jonnu's a good pick if you totally fade tight end. What did I say? Literally just 6 tight ends I just mentioned. Aside from Kittle, Laporta, Hawk, Bowers and McBride. So then that literally fills out tight end for almost everyone in the league except for one guy, which is why I'd rather just take the later guys. Lot of teams that went pretty well rounded here. Saquon and JT up top here for Tebow fan. Wide receiver, very, very shaky. Tyreek Hill and Cortland Sutton. He goes James Conner there. But again, I've seen teams win that way. Just watch some of the Flock League videos again. 32 fab on that random Rams wide receiver. People were dropping that amount of fab on all these different players throughout the season. Literally, like, I honestly could not care less, and it did not impact me at all throughout the season. Waivers were shot all year long. Like, it literally, like, sure, it was stupid, I guess, to drop 32 fab on Tyler Johnson. It did not negatively impact me in any way throughout the season. Like, I never missed out on fab. So I think Danny dropped like 36 on Carson Steele as well, which, like, a lot of people made fun of him for that, and I'm sure I gave him grief too. But honestly, like, I mean, shoot your freaking shot. Like, what if Carson Steele had ended up being Tyron Tracy? You just kind of have to shoot your shot. So, and I will say, like, if you are going to shoot your shot, don't do it on a wide receiver. Do it on a running back. I think that's something that I honestly will probably change up this year. Now, if I'm hard pressed for wide receivers, then I might be a little more aggressive there, but I really like, gosh, Juggins here at the 6'5". And I'm taking Olave. Why so high on Rashid? I mean, because 4th round, that's why. If you were going mid-second with the suspension stuff in question, like, that would be too high. But I mean, he was going in the mid and late second before this news came out about him potentially getting suspended. And it's no guarantee that it's 6 to 8 games, guys. If it's 2 to 4 games, I'm taking Rashid in the 5th round, 4th or 5th round. If it's 6 games, he'll probably go on like the 6th or 7th. But as of right now, like, we don't know. So I'm willing to take the risk. When is the ESPN draft vid coming? Trophy. If you get on the Discord and see the announcements, we have an announcements. We have an announcements channel. That's public also, I believe. And we will announce some big stuff for ESPNers very soon. I'm telling you, dude. Free account with code domain. Link your Discord. Set. You can even tag us when you join those servers, and we'll say what's up. Anakin, Women of the Children, 2 Skywalker. What's up, man? Traded the 2nd overall pick, basically the 402 in a 3-keeper league for JT. AJ Brown, a 7th round pick, which is basically a 4th round pick. What are your thoughts? I think that's a fine deal. Depends on who's there at the 2nd overall pick, but keepers are tough, man. I don't really like taking early QB, but I think I had to take Lamar at the 4-3. Would have taken Walker if you fell one more. I think Lamar in the 4th round is good. You just take him in the 4th. That's fine. Judkins goes at the 6'8". Aaron Jones goes at the 6'9". Nice. And Rome Odunze goes at the 6'11". Avery is all over Rome Odunze at the 5'6" turn, but Rome is falling consistently to the 6'7" turn. I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are on him this year. Would you be so high on Rome to a point where you would reach on him in redraft leagues? Not saying Avery's wrong, because I like Rome Odunze a lot more than these other wide receivers here in this range, but interesting that he's really consistently going in this range. Alex Martini said, what was this JJ Bowers trade? Go to the Flock League. you'll see me get annihilated. It was pretty bad. It's A-Rod said, I did destroy you in my Flock League video submission for that trade. As you should. That is fine. Nihal, so your drafted team was insane. Should have won the league. Yeah, I literally, if I had just done nothing, I would have at least had a good shot at making the league. News, Matthew Stafford will be evaluated a week at a time as he continues to miss training camp with a sore back. That is classic. Matt Stafford right there. And he will play through it during the season. Matt Stafford always has something lingering in training camp. Yeah, I mean, that's the encouraging thing for me heading into the Flock League this year is like, I like legitimately, honestly, again, I'm going to eat my words. I'm going to eat my words when I say this. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to eat my words. But I was basically in last year, so only up from here. If I suck, then I sucked last year too. But I really I have a lot of confidence in my drafting. Like, I can draft a squad and redraft, and I'm pretty confident in that. Especially based off what went down last year, I feel a lot more comfortable. So it really is just like what I am worried about, and what I think everyone in the Flock League should be worried about is, will you screw yourself during the season? There is so much crazy crap that happens during the season. It's just insane. Like, it really, really is. I'm going to take a QB here. I'll take Mahomes in the 7th. And there goes Warren at the 7-9. And again, like, this isn't just for me. Like, I think everyone honestly would probably agree with me. Like, most of the guys in the Flock League, most of the creators in the Flock League are confident enough in their drafting ability. Maybe not so much Bush. But, like, everyone, for the most part, had a pretty decent draft strategy, and we were able to work around the devs pretty well. This year, now, it will be a little bit different because there will be less devs. But also, I mean, whoever is the guest in the Flock League this year, whatever fan it ends up being, like, that's going to be a big unknown as well. Sorry, I'm readjusting myself here. So there will be some changes this year for sure, but I do think I'll be fine in the draft. It really is just like, hey, can you get through the season? First of all, can you get through the season relatively healthy? And can you get through the season without making a trade that absolutely destroys you? Because let's be honest, guys, like there were trades that were made during the season that immediately after the fact didn't look bad. They looked fair, and they ended up losing or winning people leagues, or winning people the Flock League. Not winning, but like getting them much further than they could have gone if they hadn't made that deal, right? And in some of those trades that looked fair, they just ended up being so lopsided. And it's like, if you just kept your guys for a little bit longer, then you would have been fine. Brandon Ayuk was a big one. And that, again, was very injury-based, but still. Who am I going to take here in the 8th? I'll take Reed in the 8th. I don't mind that price at all. Little mini run of tight ends here in the 7th and 8th. Dude, it's starting to thunder outside. It's going to rain. There goes Tracy at the 8-6. I will say, man, if Tracy's going in the 8-6, I don't know why we're less comfortable taking Scat in that same range. Like, if that's where Tracy's being priced, then maybe I should take Scataboo in the 8th or 9th. I've been a little reluctant to do it, but again, if Tracy's going to go there, screw it. I'll take Scataboo. Denick and Flock Fantasy just added me in Discord. Pretty sure fake account asking if I want their sports betting picks. Yeah, Denick, we sent out an announcement earlier this week. There have been people imitating all of our accounts. The Land Guys, Avery and I, Flock Fantasy, Mason, literally everyone. And they're all offering these sports betting picks. Don't click on those links. Don't listen to it. Don't entertain it. We honestly need to get those bots blocked somehow. If you see that bot, block it. Torsten says, Nathan, I wish you a happy birthday. How are you doing? Thanks, man. I'm doing well on my non-birthday. I am pretty exhausted today. I was helping Avery move his stuff. I was helping Avery move his stuff at his house into like these giant pods. And we were there from like 9 a.m. today to literally like 4 p.m. So I am swamped and I'm hungry and I'm tired. And when I'm done with this, I'm either going to read a book or watch quarterback. Or maybe actually, is that show out? Is the Chiefs Kingdom show, is that out yet? Or is that coming out like in August? That might not be out yet. I had a dream draft last year. Chase, Gibbs, London, Rice, Chase Brown, BTJ, Murray, Bowers, Love. Can't believe I didn't get a title. Yeah, KT Aggie, how's that even possible? David Elliott got a friend request from the account as well. Yeah, those of you guys who are on the Discord, if you're getting DMs for those things, ignore them, please. We will literally never DM you about freaking signing up for that type of stuff. Oh, look, I'm on the clock again. Woo! Spoiler alert, Brandon Ayuk's off my board this year. I won't touch him. 0 interest. It's a waste of a pick. By the time he's back, you will have missed out on an opportunity for him to even be an impact player to even get you to the playoffs. You have to have good depth to comfortably take him. He's off my board. I won't touch him. Darnell Mooney. Because even when he does come back, is he really going to be a league winner? Will he be healthy enough once he's back to be a league winner? He's starting the season on the pup. John Lynch said that they have no timeline for his return. If he has no timeline right now in training camp, that means that he will probably not be coming back until the middle of the season, and they will probably ease him into a high snap share workload, which means by the time that he is a full go, it is at the very earliest week 12. No, when Avery had JJ and St. Brown in the lineup, I knew it was wraps. Yeah. With the amount of bad luck that Avery got in the Flock League last year, though, for ending up 7-7 on the year, you would have thought he had it under wraps until you saw his record and the amount of bad luck that he had, and you'd be like, maybe this guy is just cursed, and maybe Joe is just the chosen one. I've never seen a team as abysmal as Joe's in my entire life. I've played fantasy since I was 5 freaking years old and didn't know what the heck I was doing. I've never seen a team that bad make the playoffs. Like, the statistical likelihood of that team making the playoffs is less than 1%. I'm not kidding. It's probably like 0.01%. These picks in the 9th and 10th round matter. It's nice to practice them up. In the 10th, I'll take Njoku. Happy to do that. Comfortable riding out with Njoku on the season by fading tight end. Hard not to overreact sometimes. Yeah, I mean, there's like panicking. There's okay, so like, there are mistakes that are made in the season that really hurt you, that are just like honest mistakes. It's like, dang, I didn't know that guy was going to go off. I didn't know that this guy was going to start sucking. And, you know, those types of trades, they look fair, and then they end up being really lopsided. There's those types of trades. And there's just true self-implosion like me, where like, I don't think you guys understand. A lot of it was like emotional attachment to Puka Nacua. I have an emotional attachment to Puka Nacua. I loved him as a prospect. I thought that he was a really good sleeper pick before anyone else did, like literally anyone else did. heading into the NFL, and then he goes off as a rookie. I'm like in heaven because I had a ton of shares of him and got a ton of value wins there. And then he looks amazing, and then he gets injured, and I'm just in total shambles, like complete shambles. And like to a point where I am like emotionally distraught. And then I just make I make a terrible, terrible, terrible deal. I don't think you guys realize when Puka Nacua went down with the injury, I hated fantasy football for like a good 48 hours. I hated everything about it, and I was so mad. And like, I felt disgusting every day. And then I got over it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make a trade. I'm just going to make a trade. And then I did. At Dynasty Football Flock, Avery can really only go down if you think about it. I mean, yeah, because he won the league. He will have to stay on top. It's tough to stay on top. But you know Avery, he'll find a way to, brag forever. So, is the fan going to be a part of the content videos? Yes. Yes, they will be, C-Dub. That's why we're spending a lot of time really breaking down how we want to do the... That's why we're spending a lot of time figuring out who we're going to select to be on the channel. All right, guys, let's do one more draft here. I'm going to do a 10-second clock because it's raining and it's storming and it's thundering here. So if there is a power outage, I'm going to lose you guys. So, because it's actually raining a lot. So let's do one more of these. DFF mock numero 3. And I will drop this one in the YouTube link for you guys this time. 10-second clock. This is a speed clock. I'm getting in this draft before any of you guys do. I will pick at 2. And then I'm going to copy the link. We're going to drop it in the chat here. And we are a go. You and Avery are consistently drafting Rashee Rice in the 4th. Isn't it a little bit high for a player if he gets suspended for 6 weeks? It is if he gets suspended for 6 weeks. I think that tells you what we think about his potential suspension status. And I don't know if it's not a guarantee to be 6 weeks. But we will adjust if he's suspended for 6 weeks, yes. Right now I'm operating on 2 to 4 weeks. Alex said, are you a Chiefs fan? I don't dislike the Chiefs. I like them a lot more than I like other teams. There goes Gibbs at the 101. Okay, cool. I'll take Chase. I'm a diehard Colts fan. We're from Indy. We're Colts fans through and through. But we are not anti-Chiefs. A lot of people hate the best, and we like. I don't know. I mean, when Mahomes came into the league, Andrew Luck was still going, and it's kind of the prime of football for us. And you saw Mahomes play. Mahomes is just unbelievable. He's a fun guy. So it's a fun team to watch. We love Andy Reid too. We've liked Andy Reid since he was in Philly. So we just like good football, and it's good football. It's a good team. And honestly, a lot of it too is like we're rooting on Mahomes getting to the 7 Super Bowl status and being officially claimed the GOAT, where it's essentially not an argument. And we need to dethrone Tom Brady. We're Colts fans. You know how we feel about Tom Brady. So anyone that can get close to that achievement and can be debated as the GOAT at least, or crowned as the GOAT, and we can quit talking about Tom Brady as a GOAT, then that'll be a good day. Jordan said all NFC players, and I'm here for it. Agreed, y'all need to make a video of some of the clips submitted. Yep. Stay tuned. Are you completely out on Shane Steichen, or would you like to see him survive to get a QB in Indy? I am 95% out on Shane Steichen. I think Shane Steichen's a lot better of a play caller than he is a head coach. We're flying through this draft. Do you think Kamara at pick 35 in a 2 wide receiver? Do you like that in a 2 wide receiver league? Yes, I do. In the 3rd round, I think it's a good pick. Man, running back, gone. That's all right. Kyron's a good pick here. So are a few other guys. I'll take JSN. Ayuk was very bad all season long. Every creator had him as buy low, but his production was low due to sitting out all camp. Yeah, the sitting out all camp really screwed him. He wasn't conditioned at all, and these physical disadvantages led to injury. I think that's not far off, Torson. Nathan just watched Happy Gilmore already. Oh my gosh, I have 4 seconds. Ah! Got Kyron. Holy cow, that clock is... Whew! I'm getting there, Chris. I'm getting there. Been a little busy recently. We're not going to get any less busy here soon, but no, it is. You telling me is not going to speed up the process. I'm going to watch it. Thoughts on Mooney's injury? I'm not too worried about it. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. Get the injury out of the system, dude. Get it out of the system. Get injured now, not later. So salty about the Pats. Yeah, I mean, we had our fair share of wins against the Pats too, so like it's fine. Honestly, when you look at Peyton Manning and his playoff record against Tom Brady in the postseason, they were pretty even. So like really, it's not even that. It's just like when you have a rivalry like that, you cannot stand hearing about the other person, and I literally like I can't handle it. Peyton Manning fan through and through. He'll always be a Colt. Did I miss it? Was there cake? Happy birthday, Nathan. Thanks, my shrimp. It's not my birthday, though. Nathan, you and Caitlin Clark kind of favor each other. What do you mean? Shoot the clock. Picked Higgins over Chase Brown. Yeah, that's fine. Can you put the draft board on the screen? Dude, I'm a freaking idiot. Thank you, guys. I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry, too. I should have had that on there, and I did not. I forgot to move it over. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm an idiot. As a Broncos fan, thank you for Peyton Manning. You're welcome. I would say my pleasure, but you got a Super Bowl. So, and Indy, honestly, like Indy still loved Peyton after he was a Bronco. We were rooting for him all the way. It would have been a lot more rough if we didn't get Andrew freaking Luck. And, you know, it sucks that Luck ended up retiring, but like legit, we did not miss a step when we got Luck. So, the injuries are what ended up really killing us. So that was unfortunate. And that was on Grigson. That wasn't on Luck. All right, I'm up. Man, I have to like prepare before. Oh my gosh. No. I autoed, whatever. It's all right. Hurts at the 411 is fine. Now I guess I'll get to see what it looks like to take a quarterback up top. I will take Trevion. I don't like asking Sleeper Reddit for trade advice. Where is the best advice? Perk Almighty. If you head over to flockfantasy.com/domain, we literally have an exclusive fantasy football like redraft channel on Discord. We have a trades channel. We have literally a ton of different channels for advice. You can DM us and all that stuff. You can get the free channels, the public channels, again for free if you just go use code domain. You just sign up, get an account on your account page. There's a link for the Discord, and you can get that, get access to that like immediately. So honestly, like we have for people that have looked at and been on and tried Reddit like way back in the day when we were just starting up as a channel and didn't really have like much influence. We were just on Reddit like looking at stuff and what it was like. And I'm telling you, dude, the Discord community over at Flock is so much better. It's really, really good. Tons of guys are super active over there. All right, I need to like prepare. Went 2 running back up top here, and double N. He went B-Rob, JT, and then he went Tyreek, Sutton, and Pickens. Is this normal to have Sutton go in the 4th round? Let me know in the comments, guys. Is that normal? Have I been missing something? Golly, that drop-off is insane. There goes Olave. That was a good pick. There goes Hunter. That was also a good pick. Crap. Frick. I'll take Rome. Josh Downs at the 612. Wow. Okay. And then Judy, you're going all wide receiver. You're not going to running back, dude. I'm getting Quinshawn in the 7th. Heck yeah. Thank you. That's 2 rookies. It's risky. I got a little bit of a risky team, but for getting a QB at the 411, it's not too bad. That's not too shabby. Blake said yes, normal. Sutton early 4th on underdog. Underdog. Oh, okay. I see. I have a spoiler for you. Underdog is not redraft. They're a lot different, honestly. I mean, I think the ADP for like ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper compared to Underdog is a lot different. And again, you got a lot of real money tied to Underdog, but strategically they are very, very, very different. And I will say a lot of people are going lower than what's normal on Underdog, and a lot of people are going higher than what's normal on Underdog. I'm down to 8% on my laptop. I need to plug this game in. Give me a second. There we go. Nihal's high on Sutton. I mean, I don't blame you for being high on Sutton. I think he's in a pretty good situation this year. Ingram was out of the offense, but in terms of target volume, I think he's probably going to get similar stuff. Why would you take Judkins? Am I missing something? 7th round Judkins? I mean, Devon, I hate to break it to you, but Judkins is playing this year. Like, he's playing. He might get suspended, but historically speaking, the NFL waits for lawsuits and legal stuff to be finalized by like courts before they even look at suspensions. So, yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that Judkins plays the entire season. Underdog, you shoot for upside in best ball. Yeah, picks like JMO are good in Underdog. All right, I got to prepare again. What am I looking at here? I'm in pretty good shape, honestly. I will take a shot on Cup in the 8th. That's fine with me. There goes ETN. He's got to go running back. He only has 1, now 2. And then he goes golden. Holy crap, dude. Jeez Louise, because he went QB and tight end up top. This is where I am happy to take Warren. And in the 9th round. Judkins has no contract and did not report to training camp. I know he will sign his contract and he will eventually be in training camp. I'm telling you guys, like, there is literally, it is 100% mucky waters for Judkins. But the mucky waters are basically tied to when is he going to start? And that's directly tied to will he get suspended? And I'm just telling you guys, like, this is not me in my opinion. This is history. Like, any player that has domestic violence allegations, if there is not a video of it and it is not a slam dunk case legally, the NFL does not care, and the punishment is marginal. And whatever the punishment ends up being, it is generally a year out. See Alvin Kamara, because they wait for the legal stuff to actually be settled. This is not a open and shut case for Quinshon Judkins. It will probably go for the entire year. Guys, we just saw this with Addison and Rashee Rice. They had their issues last offseason. They went an entire year with no suspension, and now they're going to get suspended this year. Judkins has a very good chance of playing the entire season this year, guys. Nihal, there's a button that lets you turn off auto on the Sleeper app. Yeah, Devon, I honestly think, like, again, the hefty suspension that's honestly all projection, and it's all a lot of people are suspecting that he might get suspended. And again, he might. I'm not saying there's 0% chance that he will get suspended. But again, historically speaking, domestic violence cases, if you don't have a video of Ray Rice literally karate chopping someone in an elevator, you're getting 4 weeks. And that's generally a year after the fact. I'll take the Tootster in the 10th round. So again, I'm not saying there's not risk with Judkins. Is there risk? Absolutely. In the 7th round, holy slam dunk of a pick in the 7th round. If Judkins were going like where Omarion Hampton is going as a rookie because he's in a great situation, but he has all these legal allegations, like, no, I'm not taking Judkins in the early 4th round. But in the early 7th, I mean, look at the other running backs that he's going around. I mean, talk about questions for Judkins. He went right by Joe Mixon. Like, why are we talking about the questions with Joe Mixon, right? The questions with B-Rob. Questions with Pollard, Aaron Jones in a committee, DeAndre Swift, right? Like, all those guys. I think at that point, it's just, are you willing to take on the risk at that point? Yeah, I personally would. Again, you guys, you don't have to. That's totally fine. But I'm just telling you, if he is objectively the highest upside pick in the 7th round, if he's going in the 7th round, like, actually. Ford and Sampson have a leg up, though. If Judkins is out for all of training camp, he and Sampson Sampson has actually a pretty decent chance of being productive. Ford, I honestly don't think will really amount to much this year. He never really does. He's a very cap ceiling type of guy. I think Judkins will play. Oh, hang on. My monitor's screwing up. He says, I think Judkins will play. I'm kind of out on him just because I'm out on the Browns scoring points. I think that's more of a reasonable reason for why you'd be out on Judkins. I would say, though, even situationally, if you're out on a situation, I wouldn't be out on a situation in the 7th. You can be out on a situation in the 4th or 5th. That's fine. Bad offense, yes. No upside, incorrect. He's a running back one in an offense that runs a frick out of the ball. Nick Chubb lived on a bad offense for 6 years, and he was one of the most productive running backs of his time. Like, they run the crap out of the ball because they are a bad offense, and they actually have a pretty decent offensive line. So he has pretty high upside. What are these emojis next to the 8th round picks? Yeah, people can react to picks now. So that's just, it is pretty funny though. Browns rookie just last year got 5 games for domestic violence, and that was even reduced to disorderly conduct. He was on the exempt list before that too. Yeah, exactly. So again, I don't think it's going to be any more than 4 games if he does get suspended this year. And that's a big if, historically speaking. How good are the Browns O-line? I'm unaware. I think they're kind of middle of the road. I don't think they're bad. I think they're middle of the road. Yeah, the Browns offense was very good with Chubb and Hunt. Like yeah, right. And it was because of them. It's not like they had a superpower at quarterback. I mean, Baker Mayfield was fine. Baker Mayfield has taken tons and tons of steps forward in terms of like quarterback play since he left Cleveland, honestly, because he's been in a better situation. When he was at Cleveland, he was okay. But I'm telling you, dude, like the productive running backs and bad offenses, it happens all the time. And we just saw it with freaking Tyron Tracy, and he was a 5th round running back, and he's not even that talented. Like it's just the way it goes. If you have volume as a running back, you're going to be productive if you're good enough. All right, guys, that was a fast 3rd draft, and we are going to call it there. Flockfantasy.com/domain. Again, a lot of people were asking how they could get on the Discord because it is so active. We got a ton of stuff going on over there. We're going to have a ton of announcements for UDFFers, the redraft community over the next, literally we're going to have announcements coming out next week. We're going to be releasing our draft cheat sheet next week. Literally so many things that are going to help you as you ramp up heading into your drafts this August, heading into the season. I cannot reiterate enough like how much we have for you guys if you join the community. So go over there, just get a feel out for the community. Again, you don't have to sign up right away. You can just set up a free account with code domain, get on the Discord, check it out, and then we can go from there. So again, highly encourage it. If not for signing up on the site, just literally for the Discord alone, the community is phenomenal. It is so worth just your time. Like we have free channels on there that are very active. They're public servers, and you will love them a lot more than Reddit. I promise you. Reddit is a cesspool, and the Flock Fantasy Discord is not. And the public channels that we have in the domain section are always active. They are always popping, and they are always reacting to news, and there's always uplifting and good conversation that goes on there. So highly recommend it. Appreciate you guys joining today. And we will be doing plenty more of these throughout August as the preseason ramps up and drafts start going. We're going to do some live real money drafts next week. So I think we've done plenty of, I think we've done a good number of mocks where Avery and I are both comfortable at this point doing some real money drafts. And we're going to do those with you guys, with the members of our community over at flockfantasy.com/domain, our domain members we're going to be doing leagues with. So if you want to get a chance at getting one of those leagues signing up, we will have plenty of openings there. And we're going to be starting those next week. I can't tell you the day because we haven't narrowed it down yet, but we'll have at least one going. So I will see you guys soon. Probably Monday, I think, is when we'll be streaming again, probably around 5:30 or 6. And talk to you later. Have a good weekend.